Is there someone there? Wow. Oh, crap. I shouldn't cuss, huh? I'm so happy you're here. I'm happy that you're joining me today. Just to level set with you, and just tell you where I'm at. As you can see from my pudgy little face that I am a pudgy little person, that my goals for this channel is to prove that a 44-year-old woman with no gym and no fancy stuff like no body bug, no Fitbit, can in fact lose weight. And I used to live in the city till about 6 months, more than 6 months ago, where I lived to a rural area, and I thought I was going to lose so much weight, and then I didn't. Well, I think I lost like 5 pounds, and then winter happened, which was basically sitting around inside and not moving around very much, and I didn't care what I was eating, and yeah. So I've got about 100 pounds to lose, and I hope that you can join me on this journey. Hey, maybe it'll be a train wreck. I don't know. We'll find out, huh? So just to level set, my weight when I last weighed myself is 137 pounds. Or not 100. What I want to say 137. I wish it was. Put a 2 in front. It's 237. So, and I wasn't going to get a scale. When I've been kind of losing weight, or, doing my diet journey or whatever for about 3 weeks now. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get a scale because I don't want to look at that. I don't want to focus on that. I just want to focus on eating and moving. But then I was like, well, if I do a channel that's for health and getting in shape and losing weight and everything, how am I ever going to illustrate to you that I'm actually losing weight? And I have this pair of pants that I want to try on later, so you can see, like, my goal is to fit into these pants and everything because I'm going to Sweden later this year, and I didn't want to be quite where I'm at. And sorry if you heard that. That's my horse. So my goal, in the end of all things, my goal would be to lose 100 pounds. Basically, I'd like to come out at 135, but I don't think I'm going to lose the 100 pounds before I go to Sweden and Germany this year. So really my goal there is to get kind of fit, because we're going to be walking all over Sweden and Germany, and I don't want to be the person that's standing there, going, 1 minute. I don't want to be that guy. So that I'm trying to get fit. And we'll talk about that later on with like the stuff that I'm doing. So I also want to talk about non-scale victories, because I didn't want to get a scale. I also wanted to focus more on non-scale victories, which would be something like fitting into that pair of pants, setting a goal to go work out how many times a week. Like for me, my goal is 5 days a week. So setting a goal and sticking to it. So when I get to that Friday, I'm like, non-scale victory, I worked out 5 days this week. Or just suddenly, like, weird stuff will happen. Like if you're, a certain weight, like fitting into your office chair would be a non-scale victory. Suddenly you're like, oh my goodness, my thighs aren't touching the arms of the chair. This is amazing. Or suddenly you have a thigh gap. Those things are non-scale victories, and I kind of want to focus on those, and less on the scale. The scale is easy because it's a unit of measurement, and it's the easiest one because you can go to Walmart and get a scale for $5, which I did just for you. To get started, we need historical data. My favorite thing ever. I love historical data. I'm a geek that way. So I'm sure you haven't been recording what you've been eating or how much you weigh or anything like that. So we need to do that. We need your historical data in order to be able to make a change in the future. So what you want to do is you're going to want to get a notebook. This is mine. Just a plain old composition book. is fine. I have, what are they, like $2, $5? I don't even know. I've had this forever, and you can see that I've written down my stuff in there, and you can see that's from like 2012. So I've had it a while. And I've been trying to lose weight a while, and I have lost weight, and I gained it all back. And you know, I could lay the blame somewhere, you know, I could be like XYZ happened in my life, but the blame falls squarely on me. I made this decision to, you know, pudge up again, no matter how conscious or unconscious it may have been. And I have to come to terms with that. So here we are. And now I want, and that's going to be a key statement in your thought process, is to say, I want to lose weight. And as soon as you change your thinking, it'll become much easier. So if you're running around going, oh, I have to lose weight, that's not a positive thought. That's not a positive outlook. That is detrimental. You have to want it. So you need to say to yourself, I want to lose weight. And as soon as you change that mindset, it'll happen. And it'll be amazing. And it'll be fun. Well, maybe not all fun, but it'll be fun at some parts. So we're collecting our historical data. So you're going to write down what you're currently eating. Don't go, oh, I'm going to lose weight, and then not write down what you're eating. So like, don't get a weight loss mindset. Like you're like, oh, in the back of your mind, okay, I know that since I'm going to try and lose weight, that I'm not going to eat this piece of cake over here, which I would have already eaten, or I'm not going to eat that second donut, or whatever it is, or I'm not going to have my breakfast Pepsi because I'm trying to lose weight. No. We want you to write down everything you're doing, which I didn't do when I started 3 weeks ago. So I can't really tell you. Maybe I can recreate it for you later. So everything you're doing. So if you are working out and maybe walking or whatever, write that down too. Get a scale, weigh yourself. I say that because it's the easiest thing you can do. But you can also get a tape measure and measure yourself. It won't be as immediately satisfying as, say, a scale, because a scale is going to show you a change in number quickly, theoretically. I mean, when I say that, it's going to be like a number. So, you know, you'll be like 235, and then it'll say 233. It's not going to be that exciting, but it'll be a little easier than, you know, measuring yourself with a tape measure. Or maybe one day you're bloated because you had a lot of salt the night before, and then the next day you had a lot of water, so you're not as bloated, and your tape measure might lie. So might the scale, but anyway, whatever your unit of measurement is going to be, you want your baseline. So if it's, I'm going to fit into the pair of pants, which I'll show you the pants that I want to fit into and tell you the story about those later. I want to be X on the scale. I want, you know, to drop this many inches. Whatever your unit is, write it down. Write your baseline down. Write your goal down. And then we're also going to, once you've done that, we're then going to want to figure out how many calories. Well, for me, I mean, I know there's a lot of different methods to weight loss, and I'm going to just cover like my method here. This video is already getting longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to cover my method, which is counting calories, and at 100 pounds overweight, that's probably sufficient. I'm not going to have to freak out and throw everything away in my house and be like, oh my God, I'm never going to eat an Oreo or a donut again. Okay. I will tell you, yesterday I had French toast, which I shouldn't have done, but that'll be another video down the line. But at my weight, I can get away with maybe having an Oreo. I mean, but ideally, I'm going to want to gradually change my eating habits to where I'm not eating Oreos or whatever, or drinking Pepsi or whatever it is that you're doing, that I'm doing. And I will tell you, I have a sweet tooth the size of Mount Everest. So that is my downfall, is sweet stuff. So you're going to want to write down your calories. Then we're going to figure out how many calories you need to be burning. So what I've done historically is just Google BMI calculator and find out what your BMI is. It's going to be really simple. You go to the website, you type in your weight, your height, and your age, click BMI, and BMI is your body mass index, which is the amount of calories that you will burn by just sitting there. Like, as I am sitting here, and even though I'm a little animated, I'm still burning calories. It's not many. So like when you're sick in the bed with the flu, you're still burning calories because you have to burn calories to live, to make the neurons in your brain fire, to be able to move or anything like that. So you are burning calories. And there's a baseline, which is your body mass, not body mass index. No. Basal metabolic rate. BMR, not BMI. I'm sorry, BMR. So you want your BMR. And for me, I wrote it down because I should have been prepared, is 1,789 calories. That's what I need to burn to maintain the weight that I'm currently at, which we decided was 237 pounds. So I need to eat that many calories to maintain where I'm at if I didn't move ever. And I have a sedentary job, so I probably don't move very much. So what I probably need to eat is probably not that far off my BMR. One school of thought is find out your BMR, which I can't even imagine eating 1,789 calories of salad. So that's one reason you want to eat healthy. We'll get into that later. So find out your BMR and don't eat below that. Do not. The other thing is it'll be helpful to figure out your activity rate. So you can find out your BMR and then use the Harris-Benedict equation and do it all on your own, which I have done in the past, which I didn't even know about this other thing, what I'm going to tell you in a minute, existed. I was so excited when I saw this. Oh my gosh. I will link in the description below, but it's the Tdee Calculator, which is the total daily energy expenditure calculator. So it tells you your BMR. Yeah, I keep saying BMI. It's not BMI. It's BMR. BMR, okay? BMR. So I was so excited. I was so excited when I saw this website. It's got helpful tips on what you can do to get started losing weight. I will link it down in the description, but you want to look up your total daily energy expenditure. And once it shows you, because you can't lie, like for me, I selected sedentary because basically my job is sitting on my butt. So, sitting on my butt in front of a computer. So I put that in there and it tells me how many calories I need to eat, which was like 2,000 something, which I was surprised at, but how many calories I need to eat to maintain my physique. So what you want to do is eat like maybe 200 to 500 calories below that. And that will eventually get you to lose weight. It'll be awesome. And you'll be happy. Just kind of wrapping up this initial first video, which is longer than I anticipated. You need also, once you've got your historical data, you need to go out and purchase things. So if you're going to use a scale as your unit of measurement, get a scale. I had to go buy one because I threw mine out from when I moved up here. Get yourself a notebook. Or you can use some apps on your phone. Spark People, I believe, has a nice app. I've used them before, but I don't know. I feel so much more satisfied when I write it down in my notebook. CalorieKing.com will be your friend. And I do have a Calorie King book that's like, it's only like that big, that I keep in my bag. But I totally forgot to bring it in here to show you guys. It's old and worn out. But the nice thing about that is if your friends are like, hey, let's go to McDonald's, you can quickly look through there and be like, okay, from McDonald's, I can eat X. And don't get the salad necessarily because it might have more calories than eating a burger. We'll talk about that later too. So, Calorie King, notebook, app on your phone, scale, or whatever you're going to use as your base of measurement, whether it's going to be a dress you want to fit into, a pair of pants, whatever. So get that. And then you're also going to want, or at least I found it helpful, to write down your if statements. So it's going to be something like, if I don't get fit, X will happen. And it's going to be different for everyone. For me, one of them was, if I don't get fit, I will continue to lose muscle and gain weight and get bigger, which I don't want. I don't want to be the person in the old folks' home that you need an engine hoist to get them out of bed or anything. So I don't want that. And these need to be like deep, meaningful statements for you. So you gotta have some feels, as the new lingo is, some feels with it. You need to feel that. So when you read these goals a couple times a day, you're gonna feel that in your heart, and it's gonna really make you, decide you don't want to eat that second donut or the first one even. Let's see. You're also probably gonna want to make some wiser purchases at the grocery store. Now, I am not saying throw everything away and start over, or the worst, binge on everything, saying Monday morning I'm going to start. Don't do that. Just start making more healthy choices. So if your downfall is a sweet tooth like mine, maybe don't buy the Oreos. Maybe skip that. Maybe buy some, some bananas or, something, or, and I'll tell you the tricks that I use, because it's a lot of mental kind of games that you play with yourself to be successful. But like, one of the things I do is I buy, the suck candy. So like Jolly Ranchers, or, I really like Cinnamon Imperials, or, I don't know, Werther's Originals, which they're not very high in calories, but for some reason, because I'm forced to eat them slowly, it is better for me than if I had like little chocolates, because then I would just eat a whole thing of little chocolates or whatever. So just little things like that. So maybe don't buy the cookies. Maybe buy some Werther's Original or something like that. Let's see, you probably want to get some good shoes if you intend to begin working out. Because if you're like me and you're got 100 pounds extra hanging off your frame, that puts a lot of stress on your knees, on your ankles, on your, your shin bones and stuff like that. And we'll talk about shin splints and stuff, because I'm suffering now with shin splints, which I knew was going to happen. I should have been smart. And that's what you need to get started. You don't need anything fancy. If you want to invest in like a Body Bug or a Fitbit, cool. I have often looked at that stuff, but I've never invested in it. And for probably at least this beginning part of the channel, I'm not going to have those things, because I want to show people that you can lose weight without having to go to the gym. Without having to have fancy stuff. And that, I Fitbit or whatever, I'm calling that fancy, or a Jawbone or whatever it is, It can be done in a safe, sane way. And look, I'm 44. My days of being beautiful are gone. Have you seen these gray hairs? Look at that. Get real close. There's just gray hair. Oh, ooh, there was one right there. Okay, I'm not beautiful. I'm never gonna be beautiful. I just want to be healthy. And I'm hopefully going to show you a safe, sane way to do that. And in closing, I want to leave you with a quote that has inspired me. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Or, in my case, you have to go back to doing what you were doing. But more on my story later, because this video is already hella long.